Hey, what is going on, fire breathers? Welcome back to another episode of The Modern Athlete. I'm your host, Sean James, and today we're going to get into a pretty juicy topic. It's all about how can carbs affect your performance. And full disclosure, I'm not a fan of carbs. That's why I opt for a majority paleo diet and a low carb diet on high training days. But I'm going to be diving into some common misconceptions people have about carbs, especially this nonsense that all carbs are evil and are inherently bad. Carbohydrates are not sugars. Well, not all of it. Let me explain. Take spinach for an example. It's leafy, it's got a lot of fiber, and it's mostly water soluble, but it's still considered a carbohydrate. You see, carbs are broken up into four groups that are complex sugars, simple sugars, added sugars, and sugar alcohols. Now, added sugars and sugar alcohols are the real enemy. Things like high fructose corn syrup, or simply corn syrup, or even beer. You know, the good stuff. So, how does carbs work on humans? You see, the human brain itself uses 40% of the glucose that's generated in the body. Glycogen is also super important, mainly for your muscles, and that is glucose stored in your body. And here's the tricky part: you can use carbohydrates to the best of your advantage by understanding three important things: the glycemic index, which is a ranking system from 1 to 10 that ranks foods based on their ability to spike your blood sugar levels; gastric emptying time, how long it takes you to empty yourself after a meal; and sensitivity and timing, how sensitive are you to carbohydrates. Let's say if you are sensitive to carbs, especially with diseases like celiac disease, where wheat and other carbohydrates becomes practically poisonous, I highly recommend taking carbs that are not as highly processed. Foods like oats, jasmine rice, and sweet potatoes do amazing things for your performance. And best part is they help to reduce bloating. With your sensitivity to carbs, it's important to record key measurements. Record bloating, energy level, and force output. This will help you to find that ideal carb that works best for you. Do this for at least 48 hours, and that'll give you a good estimate of what kind of carb will give you that edge in your performance. Not only that, but if you implement this strategy, you can get the best pump in the gym, promote proper digestion without bloating, and it'll also give you the best force output. Gastric emptying is another important factor that plays a huge role in the effectiveness of carbs in your workout performance. It's directly affected by the food you eat. Take protein for example, since it takes more energy to metabolize, but therein lies the difference because protein can come in two types: whey and casein. Whey being the one that is more fast digesting, and casein being the type that is slow digesting. The same rings true for carbohydrates as well. Foods that are higher in rank on the glycemic index tend to pass the colon quicker. Why is this important? Because you would want to eat a slower digesting carb 30 minutes before a workout. That won't give you that quick boost of energy that you're looking for. If you are, though, some carbohydrates that work remarkably well are bananas and jasmine rice, believe it or not. And the last point I want to hit on is carb timing. And that's really important, especially for rising star athletes like yourself. If you tend to work out longer, fast digesting carbs are great as a pre workout, and a combination of fast and slow digesting carbs work like a charm post workout. It's important to note, though, that the faster digesting carbs usually help muscle glycogen recover faster. Here's the thing: carb timing works different for each person and is largely based on the amount of fatty adipose tissue that one has in their body. For an example, for someone who may be an overweight diabetic, faster digesting carbs may not be the ideal source of energy because it's not primed to break down fats by way of hydrolysis to make other fatty acids. Instead, it will use slower digestion incoming carbs. And that's it for today, guys. That's about all I got to talk to you about. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Apollo Essentials _ and follow and like us on Facebook at Apollo Essentials. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.